SpongeBob started giving free mustard to everyone. He even squeezed out a mustard boyfriend. Before long, the entire bottle was empty. Just as SpongeBob reached for another one, Mr. Krabs was already waiting. Furious, Mr. Krabs sent SpongeBob and Squidward to work in the mustard mines. Just then, Patrick showed up. It turned out, he was the one who had eaten all the mustard, so he was sent to the mines too. The three of them arrived at the mine entrance. As soon as they walked inside, SpongeBob and Patrick got so excited that they accidentally caused the entrance to collapse. Now, their only option was to find another way out. Soon, they came across a huge bottomless pit. SpongeBob decided to jump down first to scout the way.
Don't bother jumping, that shaft has no bottom. Let's take the escalator.
Sure enough, there was an escalator inside the mine. After reaching the bottom, the three of them split up and started mining. With a single swing, SpongeBob uncovered a solid gold nugget, but all he wanted was mustard. Patrick dug up a giant diamond, which completely surrounded him. Seeing this, Squidward got excited. He swung his pickaxe, expecting to strike it rich. Instead, he found nothing but ordinary sand. However, he accidentally uncovered a hidden passage. Inside was a subway station. A train pulled into the platform, and SpongeBob and Patrick were already sitting inside. This is the last train today, but no matter how many times Squidward swiped his card, the gate refused to open.
Watch the closing doors.
Squidward rushed toward the train, but the doors slammed shut, leaving him stuck outside. The next stop was Condiment Station. As soon as they got off, they rushed in to dig. Squidward found mayonnaise. SpongeBob uncovered hot sauce. Patrick dug up ketchup. In the end, SpongeBob had the best luck. One swing of his pickaxe, and he finally found a rich vein of mustard. They decided to dig up even more. Patrick transformed himself into a giant drill. Just as they were about to start, a mysterious old man appeared. He pulled out a wooden plug and jammed it into the hole. The old man explained that the mustard vein was directly above a volcano. If they drilled through it, the volcano would erupt immediately. But Squidward insisted. The old man just wanted all the mustard for himself. The two of them started fighting, but Squidward was no match for him. Patrick rushed in to help, only to be sent flying. With a single punch, he crashed straight into the hole, and the ground began to split apart. The old man immediately turned around and ran for his life. Just then, Mr. Krabs called again, demanding to know where the mustard was. To stop the volcano from erupting, SpongeBob threw himself into the hole to block it.
Your mustard is coming right up.
The mustard volcano erupted at that exact moment, blasting straight through the Krusty Krab and showering everyone in mustard. On a dark, stormy night, a mysterious figure hid inside an old wooden cabin. He was writing a letter. When he finished, he asked a clam to deliver it. The next day, SpongeBob and Patrick each received a letter. They opened it.
See? What did I tell you? My old Camp Coral neckerchief?
My old Camp Coral underwear!
Soon, everyone in Bikini Bottom received the same letter. Inside each envelope was a treasured item from their childhood. There was also an invitation to a party. SpongeBob was thrilled when he saw it. Before long, everyone who received a letter boarded a bus headed for Camp Coral. The moment they arrived, it felt as if time had turned back. Everyone became children again, but when they got off the bus, they discovered the camp had long been abandoned. Sandy suspected it was an elaborate prank. Mrs. Puff thought they should leave immediately, but then, the bus tires suddenly burst.
I'll get the tools and we'll put the wheels back on. Maybe we could just...
Well, looks like we're walking back across the bridge.
Oh no! We'll have to use the old tunnel! That's okay! To the hot air balloon field!
Everyone became trapped at Camp Coral. Even Lady Upturn's helicopter crashed because it was overloaded. Just then, SpongeBob realized Mr. Krabs was missing. It turned out Mr. Krabs had hidden a chest of gold at the camp years ago. He finally found where he had buried it. But the moment he opened the chest, a giant hand shot out and dragged him away. SpongeBob suggested that since they were already there, they might as well enjoy camp life. Lady Upturn returned to her childhood cabin, only to find it in complete chaos. Her two servants had barely sat down when a giant hand grabbed them both. Even Lady Upturn couldn't escape. Meanwhile, Bubble Bass and his friends were playing in the pool. One of them was suddenly dragged away by a shadow. Bubble Bass didn't notice a thing. At the same time, Plankton and Karen were dumping expired Chum Bucket Chum at the camp. It was so remote that nobody would ever find it. The next second, Patrick spotted them. After seeing this, Sandy suggested that Plankton should cook dinner. After all, he used to be the camp's chef. Plankton prepared a huge pot of chum, but it tasted so terrible that everyone refused to eat it. Only 3 people actually did. Sandy accidentally broke her helmet while shopping, and seawater started flooding into her suit. She immediately rushed back to her tree dome and grabbed her backup helmet, but the backup helmet slipped out of her hands and shattered too. Sandy had no choice but to order a new one. However, the new helmet wouldn't arrive for another 3 months. During that time, Sandy had to stay inside her tree dome, but she thought it wouldn't be a big deal. She could play guitar, practice karate, work out on her treadmill, train with weights, continue doing science experiments, and even bake lots of acorn bread to improve her meals. But as time slowly passed, Sandy started getting bored. She just stared at crickets for entertainment, and she even snapped her guitar strings while playing. Eventually, all she could do was sit there and polish acorns.
It's only been 1 hour, but I can't take it anymore.
She started calling her friends, but no one answered.
I know. If I can't get my friends to visit me, I'll visit them.
So, she activated a remote-controlled drone. The drone first flew to Mrs. Puff's boating school. Mrs. Puff was asleep, while the students were practicing driving boats by themselves. Next, the drone flew to the beach. Larry was lifting weights, but even Sandy almost fell asleep watching him. Then, the drone arrived at Mr. Krabs' office. But Mr. Krabs was somehow even more boring than Larry. He just kept counting his money over and over again. Sandy became more and more frustrated. She immediately flew the drone away from the Krusty Krab. But suddenly, the drone crashed into something solid, and it seemed to be connected to Plankton. Sandy flew the drone toward Plankton, but Plankton quickly noticed it. He grabbed a fly swatter and smashed the drone away. To find out what Plankton was planning, Sandy contacted SpongeBob for help, but SpongeBob was out exploring in the wilderness, so he couldn't help her. Then Sandy called Patrick. Patrick immediately agreed to help. Sandy attached a camera to Patrick's head and sent him to spy on Plankton. Under Sandy's instructions, Patrick hid behind a rock. After Plankton left, Patrick came out to search for clues. He discovered a package filled with glowing plutonium rods. Sandy immediately realized that Plankton was building a weapon to attack the Krusty Krab. Sandy prepared to activate her laser cannon and destroy Plankton's weapon. But at that moment, Plankton came back. Patrick accidentally tripped over a plutonium rod on the ground. Realizing their mission was exposed, Sandy fired the laser immediately. But Plankton was only showing off his latest invention, a brand new sign. However, the laser had already arrived and hit the sign. The sign's support beam instantly melted, and the entire thing fell toward the Krusty Krab.
Why didn't I think of that? Eat that, crab!
In the end, Sandy lent her tree dome to Mr. Krabs for business. She temporarily replaced SpongeBob and became the new chef at the Krusty Krab. But then, Sandy's new helmet finally arrived. The very next second, it was destroyed by the new Krusty Krab building.
6 to 8 more weeks on the inside?
SpongeBob gently kissed a nematode. The next second, it actually turned back into a fish. SpongeBob thought he had saved a prince who was under a curse, but it was just an ordinary fish. That day at the movie theater, this fish took the witch's seat. The angry witch immediately cast a spell and turned him into a nematode, and SpongeBob's kiss accidentally broke the curse. But Fishman wasn't grateful at all, because he actually preferred being a nematode. Before Fishman became a nematode, his life was boring and lonely, but after turning into one, he met a group of good friends, and even found love. He and his girlfriend were happily in love, and their wedding was happening that very afternoon. SpongeBob felt like he had ruined everything, so he decided he had to help Fishman get cursed again. They found the witch. After hearing their request, the witch immediately refused, because she had already stopped using magic. To make the witch angry, Fishman deliberately knocked over her tea.
Now will you curse me?
But the witch didn't get mad at all. Instead, she thanked Fishman for helping her water the plants. The witch picked up her broom and left her house, ready to do community service. She arrived at an old man's house and delivered a homemade lunch. Fishman knocked the lunchbox away.
Now will you curse me?
But the old man suddenly realized it was Swedish meatballs.
I'm deathly allergic to Scandinavian food. This young man saved my life.
The witch thanked Fishman again. Next, the witch went into the forest to plant trees. Fishman and SpongeBob rushed into the forest and started chopping down trees. This time, the witch was finally about to get angry, but the fallen trees unexpectedly turned into a playground. The children immediately gathered around. The anger on the witch's face disappeared instantly. Fishman was completely hopeless. There was only 1 hour left before the wedding. He sadly boarded the bus back to town. Just then, the witch also arrived at the bus stop, but there was only 1 seat left on the bus. The same situation happened again. Fishman immediately realized this was his chance. He rushed over and sat down first. He even deliberately provoked the witch. This time, the witch's suppressed anger finally exploded. The next second, a magic spell hit Fishman directly. He turned back into a nematode again, but it wasn't over yet. The furious witch turned everyone into nematodes. At the same time, Fishman's wedding finally began. The sky suddenly became dark. The angry witch turned SpongeBob into a nematode too.